we're live. Welcome to Fathers Stay Live, the show where two cool dads just hang out on a Thursday and shoot the breeze in front of their closest fan/friends. I'm one of the hosts, Mal Hall, as you know, and I would love to introduce my co-host. What's your name, sir?
You're ridiculous, dude. I can't take you serious with this mustache. Dude, I'm excited, not because of the mustache, but because we've got a very special guest on today's show.
We do.
We do. Somebody that, dude, because I started in New York, this is somebody I looked up to because she was just ridiculously hilarious. And my favorite thing about her is during this quarantine, she posts videos on her social media that just brighten my day. Hilarious, because she doesn't take herself serious, and that's what I love about her.
Yeah.
So let's not waste any time. Let's bring her in. She is the host of the Relatively Sane podcast. Everybody, Jessica Kirson.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm horrible. How are you?
Perfect.
I know.
I'm somewhere in between horrible and awesome, somewhere in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, things could be a lot worse, but it's not a great time. Let's just be honest. It's okay. It could be a lot worse.
It could be.
It could be.
So you're in New York. How are things out there? Because we hear rumors here of how great you guys are doing, and I'm in LA, and we're not good at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the virus has slowed down a lot, but there's no, it's not like we have comedy. You can't eat in a restaurant, and you can't have indoor shows or even outdoor comedy shows. They're really cracking down on that too. So listen, it was a horrible time. So thank God there's not as many people getting sick and stuff, but it's better than it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something.
That's like the best you could say. It's better than it was like a month ago.
I'm not dead.
Yeah. We're still slogging through shit, but it's, it used to be deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego.
We're doing this from our cars. It's like, what is happening?
Jessica, I moved my family from San Diego to the rural county outside of San Diego to avoid people. Right. And so this is the only spot where I get good cell connection. So anytime I do anything virtual, I come to the parking lot and I'm in the car.
Yeah, normally I'm in my walk-in closet doing my Zoom stuff. You guys are going to crack up. This is such a great thing. I told Erik, and by the way, I miss you and love you. And
I miss you
Erik,
too.
I haven't seen you in so long. I actually am on my way to go perform in someone's backyard for an anniversary party. And
wow,
it's a friend of the owner of Stand Up New York. So he's like, can you do a favor? And I'm like, oh God. And I'm Jewish, so I'm making fun of, they're Orthodox. And you're gonna crack up because you guys know what the situation. They're like, can you do an hour? I'm like, no, not even close.
Yeah. We're gonna have no microphone, and if you could just shout for help.
This is such a great thing to tell your people that are watching this. Yeah. The woman literally said to me, this is not a joke. She's putting up a sheet behind me. I'm performing in front of a sheet. I'm like, do I have to have sex through it or what? So I'm performing in front of a sheet. And she said the microphone is from the Frozen movies. I'm like, you have to put tinfoil on that immediately. Like, I'm using a Frozen microphone to perform in someone's backyard. That's yeah.
Oh, I've done those when I first started out. Like somebody hired me to do a 16th birthday, and all they had was one of those not Fisher Price, but it was a one of those simple karaoke machines, and the microphone would light up. So as I'm the thing is throwing strobe lights, and I'm just I don't know what I'm doing.
Guacamole.
My brothers have the Frozen microphone. It's just crazy. I'm like, I could bring 10 of them. I have 10 Frozen microphones, but it's insane because I'm doing stuff I would have done years ago. Like I've completely become humble. Because I have kids. I have to.
Yeah.
It's a wild thing. I performed in a park last week. Like in a park, the guy just had a PA system with a little tiny speaker, and I literally opened by telling the crowd, I told myself I would never ever perform in an area where people could just walk by and go, fuck that, and just walk by. And here I am, just like starved for attention and the meaning of like a feeling of being, and like so I'm in the park doing my stupid jokes, and it's like, where are we, man?
Yeah, I mean, I've done those drive-in shows where you stand.
How is that?
They're pretty good. I mean, there are people sitting in front of the car. This is so crazy.
They're sitting on the hood.
Well, they're sitting on the hood, or they're sitting in. They have a group in front of the car, so at least you do have people sitting there, not in a car, who are laughing. But it's all depressing. I mean, let's just be honest. It's okay. I'm doing it, but it's really, I'm a second away from cutting. I mean, this is really. The only thing that's keeping me okay is my kids. Like I'm like, I have to be okay and do this and work, and so.
So how many kids do you have?
I have 4 daughters. I have
4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh my
I never
gosh.
thought I'd have 1 child, and I have 4. And
so now, how is that transition for you? Because you were on the road, you know, headlining, and now you're home.
It's very hard. I mean, I wish I could be like, it's great. I mean, it is like there are moments, of course, during the day when I'm like, this is the greatest thing. I love being with them. But I'm selfish and I'm lazy.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. You know, I'm used to being in hotels like you guys. I'm used to doing my own thing, and when I'm home, it's amazing because I'm only home like, 3 days a week or whatever it is. So this is
a sampler platter.
Yes.
You're like, whoa, this is family life.
Yeah.
Later.
Right. I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah. So now, what's the age range like? What's the youngest and the oldest?
So I have a 14-year-old that with my ex, who is an actress and singer, and she's on my Instagram a lot, Zoe. And then I have, you're not gonna believe this, I have a 4.5-year-old and twin 1-year-olds, all girls.
Wow.
It's a lot. I know.
Twin 1-year-old?
And I'm an older mom. Yeah. I know. It's twin 1-year-olds with a 4.5-year-old is like, it's unreal. It's unreal. Because now they're
it's got to drive you crazy because with the 4-year-old, you've just gotten out of diapers. Like about 3, they're potty trained. So you're done, and now you're back in it with the 1-year-olds.
I know, and she wants attention. She's home. She's like, Mom. She constantly wants attention, and then the other 2 are grabbing everything and they're incredible. But it's a lot.
I have 1 1-year-old. And that's enough. I can't imagine. I can't imagine 2 running in opposite directions, getting into everything. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's a lot of work, but it's really like, it makes everything else, we're lucky we have that. Cause I think about people who are home and they're alone and they really don't have anything. And a lot of my friends are like, oh, I wish I had kids now. At least it takes my mind off of things. I could be with them for hours and I'm like, oh, the day is going by. I'm not thinking about problems. And so
it is a cool thing that, like, regardless of how depressed you get with whatever your situation is, especially the 4-year-old and the 1-year-olds, they have no idea what's going on right now. So they get to like just transfer some of that pure, just like joy of not just today's a day and what a great day to be alive. And I mean, as good parents, it's our job to not, dampen that at all. So just like, I try to soak in that energy and just live as if I'm a 1-year-old, like this much.
Yeah.
And it takes the edge off of like how tough it is, like literally.
That's beautiful. It's true. It really is. I mean, Yeah, my 14-year-old, I am so proud of her. She is a humanitarian. I mean, this kid is I can't even believe what she's posting on Instagram. Like, she's so concerned about what's going on in the world. It's incredible. It's interesting to have a 14-year-old during this time who is
Yeah.
aware, of what's going
Right.
on. Very interesting.
Yeah,
Now, how's
I've go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, is a 4-year-old at all aware of what's happening? Because I have a 4-year-old, and he's like, I want to go to Target, I want to go to the park, and it's like, oh, we can't, buddy, because people
she
are
knows
sick.
there's a virus.
Because someone ate a bat in China, son.
Yeah.
We can't go to the park because of China.
Yeah.
It's I'm sure there's people who talk like that to their kids.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Well, but I told you my mom, because my mom's in New York. She's actually in your show, and that was like the hub for a second of it. And I remember I called her and I was like, "Hey, you got to be careful. Don't go outside. She's old and I want to take care of her." And she was like, "No, mijo, don't worry. I'm just not eating the Chinese food." And I was like, "No, that's not how." I was like, "That's not how." I was like, "That's not what." No, stop. But like that was her fix.
So funny to me.
Like that was her fix for it. And I was just like, I'm sure there are others.
Yeah. That's basically what's happening in this country. It's people just think it's, if you don't eat dumplings, you won't get tired.
Yeah. Strange time. It is. I've never thought about what teenagers, like what the world looks like to them.
Yeah.
I've just thought about personally, like, whoa, I'm an adult now, and I'm living through a time that's going to be studied in high school in 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, this is crazy. Like, this is, like guys in the Civil War that were writing letters home, like, did they have any clue that, like, oh, this correspondence will be studied in school one day? It's like, I'm sure they didn't, but we're like advanced enough to know, like, oh, this is going to be studied, and we're still terrible. Like, we're still posting selfies. We're in the middle of a pandemic and we're posting selfies and pictures of our food.
I know it's very hard to be like it's just, I think things are just the way they are, and you just can do the best you can do and take care of your family and be the best you can be, and then just let everything else, just trust that it'll be okay. Because the more I try to control it or figure it out, the more confused and down I get. My 14-year-old Zoe is like, she's so aware. She's like, Mama, the world, like, how come this is happening and this is not okay? And that, she's they're very passionate kids at that age about making a difference. At least she is, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of her.
That's cool.
I love how you've been taking this though in stride in your social media. Like, I know you're saying you're down, but I love what you post because it's like what we're feeling. Like, you did one the other day with chips where you're eating the chips. Like, I just want one. I love the big, and then all of a sudden you just tie it up and you throw it like you're angry. Yeah. And I like those videos make me laugh because you're like, we're all going through those emotions, but you're using it as a tool of like, look, guys, you're not the only one. Yeah. And I tell you all the time, I send you messages all the time, like, oh my God, I love your videos. And I hope that you realize I do mean it. Like, I watch them and they make me laugh.
I believe you. I know you very well. I mean, you're a wonderful person and genuine, and I believe you. It's very, some of those are really old, and it's very hard for me to be creative some days, and then some days it's okay. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make videos, I'm gonna write, but I do go through days where it's literally hard to even pick up the phone or go on the computer or call people. I just feel like paralyzed. So I literally have been just forcing myself to be creative, because I think once we stop doing that, it's not good. We the three of us, like, we need to be creative, and at least I know I do. Even if I'm not making $1, like, I don't even care. I just have to put stuff out, because we're not doing shows for the most part. We are a little, but
it's definitely a muscle that you don't want to atrophy. Yes. And it's very easy to just not. it's easy to just be bummed out and not do anything because I'm in the same boat as you. It's like I know that I should be. That's what I tell myself. Well, I should be creating, and it's like, well, I don't feel funny, and I don't feel like I should be
Yeah,
like I don't want to do it, and it's like I've been starting to force myself, and I think it's good.
you have to. I mean,
Yeah,
I have so many friends that have not done anything. And
Mhm.
there's no
yeah,
judgment. I get it. Like they don't want to do a Zoom show. They don't want to perform in front of cars. Like it's hard, and I get it. But like for me, it was so hard for me to start stand up in the first place. I was panicked. Like I literally had to go to a therapist. That's how scared I was.
oh
I was
wow,
physically sick. So if I take too much time off, it's going to be hard for me to get back into it because I'm scared.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
after 21 years, I still, now I get nervous, and I hadn't gotten nervous in a long time. I mean, unless I was doing TV or something, but I
right.
feel so much more vulnerable now, and like just
It is
not.
strange the order of operation in the world too. It's like what are we allowed to talk about? What are
I
people going to
know.
think is funny? Like
Yeah.
I headlined a club 4th of July weekend, and that was my first show since like March basically. And it was that same feeling of like I haven't been scared walking on stage in like years.
Yeah. Me
And
too.
now here I am like contemplating 45 minutes of just like, is this gonna like what do I do? Like how does this go? And
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's
It's so
you're right.
weird. And I have, I'm going to perform in someone's, this is so, thank God I can be humble. I'm
Mhm.
very grateful for that gift because
Yeah.
my ego, of course I don't want to do it. I don't want to do these shows. I don't want to perform on a sidewalk, which I've been doing in New York and
Mhm.
um, in parking lots and whatever it is. But I've always had humility, which is good. It's.
By the way, if anyone tunes in right now, it just sounds like you're a streetwalker performing on sidewalks, parking
I
lots.
know, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't mind performing in garbage dumps, but it's really, I know but listen, this is what so many different people in different careers are going through stuff. And this is our story. This is incredible time for comedians. What a
Yeah.
crazy time. Yeah.
It's a, it's a time to just be really, trying to work out that muscle, but also like taking notes. So you have, I mean, we have a litany of, I think that's the right word, of things that we can talk
I've
about.
never said that word.
I've never said it either, but it just came
Really?
out, and I was like, it
Either if
sounds like a
I,
smart word. I'm gonna say
I
it.
like
It sounds
It's a
smart.
good word.
me and Jessica both nodded, like, yeah, okay.
We're like, yeah, litany. Yeah.
Hold on.
uh, so your 14-year-old, she does videos. You said she sings, she acts, so she understands what you do for a living.
Yeah. She's
Like
come
she
on stage
understands.
with me a bunch. I took her
Uh-huh.
on stage with me at Gotham Comedy Club literally when she was 6 months old. Like she used to sit next to me on the stage and I used to
Uh-huh.
tell jokes and it was hysterical. And I would give her the microphone. She'd be like, diarrhea. She would just say and everyone would crack up. She got the bug, she
Uh-huh.
she auditions, she has an agent. It's crazy. But she doesn't get as upset as we do when she's rejected.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't affect her as much as it
Right.
affects me. And she does really well. She's incredibly talented. It's just I'm very when your kid is a good person. It does make
Mhm.
me feel like I did something right. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, was there any advice or anything you gave her when she first showed interest in doing this? Because I think
Well,
me
I
and
tell
Mal,
her
we always get those questions like, "Oh, what are you gonna do if your kid wants to do stand up or perform?" I was like,
yeah. Well, I always told her that you're going to have constant rejection. I mean,
Mhm.
you can't, and it's not, I always say to her, it's not about talent. I mean, it's about,
Mhm.
literally, I've auditioned things where I've done an incredible audition. They loved me. I got a call back, and then they went with like an Asian guy. Like, it's crazy. I mean, you just can't take it too seriously because it's not, I say to her, it's not about you. It's not your talent. It's just
Mhm.
the business, and a lot of it's not going to make sense. And people know people and this and that. And I also just help her to be real and to just not put her, like, don't depend on it for everything. Like, don't make it who you are. It's separate from who you are as a person.
Right.
And now you have to do that 3 more times. Oh my gosh.
I probably won't be alive by the time. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh my goodness. Are the twins identical or fraternal?
Fraternal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really, really cute. I put them up on my Instagram a lot, and it's fun. I mean, they're so. But I just left the house and I was like, oh my god, it's quiet. Like, I just sit in my car. I don't hear talking and screaming and things moving and banging and oh my god, I can't tell. I know you guys get it, but the cartoons,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die. Like, it's the same ones over and over, and it's like on loop in my head.
The cartoons and the noisy toys. We've received all hand-me-down clothes and hand-me-down toys. Like, thankfully we haven't had to purchase anything for this baby. Mm-hmm. But my cousin in particular hated all of the noisy toys, but they kept them in pristine condition and then handed them down to me. And this fucking guy will text me on the regular and be like, how's that such and such toy? Yeah. Like, you dick.
No, I vet all the toys, and what I've done, but when my father-in-law and mother-in-law come visit, like, I don't put batteries in the toys. So when they get them, I'm like, oh man, it just doesn't work. And then my father-in-law's like,
hysterical.
How come you didn't put the batteries in? I'm like, dude, now they know. So they wait for him to come, and they're like, can you fix this?
It is horrible. That's so funny. I mean, I could be in the worst mood, and I'll walk by the living room. It's like, it is.
I feel like
it does not match the toy. It is
I feel like cartoons too. Like, I don't know. I remember growing up, cartoons would talk. There was words, and now they have these cartoons that just make noises, and like that's the ones that they're like addicted to.
I know.
Like,
I think they're like hypnotizing our kids. It's like maybe there's some secret language.
Yeah, that's why young adults like dubstep and techno music. It's because they grow up with just cartoons that make noise. That's it.
It's so much noise. Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so much noise. It's constant.
Yeah, there's two cartoons you can watch it now: Oddbods and Booba. And it's the Oddbods are these weird little, and Booba is this weird little like rat thing that just
I know.
No,
I laughed at Booba.
I know, but I'm just like, he's not saying anything, and my kids just like, wow, that's hilarious. I'm like, no, it's not. This is disturbing.
My 4-year-old loves that too. She loves it. Now she watches the little Barbies, and they have Australian accents, and they're so rude. They're like, she's like, huh, and I'm like, what? Why are you talking to me like that? And it's these little bitches on these little fucking Barbies that are so rude. And they're just, it's like she can't watch it anymore. I've seen what it's done. Like, she has become so rude from watching the videos.
That's hilarious. How much time? I just popped in my head to completely off topic. How much time do you have to do tonight?
Oh, I have to do probably around, I said a half hour, but I'll probably do like 25. You know, it's the problem, and you guys are going to so get this. And if people, like, for the people that are watching and listening, this is a nightmare when you hear this before a private show. But the girl's like, yeah, my uncle will probably talk to you the whole time because he's like an asshole and he just like loves the attention. I'm like, well, then your uncle's going to get annihilated.
Yeah.
I'm going to ruin his life. At this point. I'm performing in front of a sheet with a fucking frozen microphone. Your uncle, it's not going to go well. I'm telling you right now. And I know he's like this Israeli guy. He's going to try to be funny and show off. And I'm going to have to put him in his place immediately.
Yeah.
And it's either gonna. I said it could continue the whole time, but it's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those situations, it's nice to get the heads up, but it's always
You're right. Yeah.
it's also like annoying because instead of thinking about your set or like,
Yeah.
okay, what could I do at this time? You also have to think about like, well, I might not even get to these things because I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to babysit Uncle Chuck,
Right.
who can't, that's awful.
That's all I've been thinking about since I spoke to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the uncle talking to me the whole time.
So real quick, I know you don't have a lot of time left. I want to talk about your special that it was what Bill Burr presents Jessica Kirson talking to myself. How did that come about?
It's a great
Because which by the way, you're one of those people that, like you said, like I said before, like I watched you in New York and I was like, she is hysterical. Like I would tell people all the time, like you have to watch Jessica Kirson. And this was your first special.
Yes.
Which blows my mind. I'm like, how has she not had more specials?
Yeah, it's one of those stories of like, it's the one thing like you guys probably have where people go, I should have done the Tonight Show or I should do Colbert. It's crazy that I'm not. It's the one thing where I was like, this is insane that I haven't gotten a special. And I tried not to be bitter about it, but I got turned down. And then I did. It's a great story for comics who are listening and watching this. And I love telling this story because it gives people hope. I hope it does. But I was doing the Patrice O'Neill benefit in New York in front of like 2,000 people. Bill Burr was there. It was one of the best sets I ever had, literally. And I even remember after the set saying to myself, Jessica, stay on stage for a second and take in the laughs. Because a lot of times I like run off stage. Like I'm not like, so I literally stood there and just took it in. And he just called me out of the blue a couple of months later and was like, you deserve a special. I want to produce it. I still have the voicemail. And it was incredible. And I did it. And I just am very grateful. I really am. And because it's good. It's perfect with me because I'm the kind of person where I would do that for so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I have that power, I would help people get specials. I would do things like that. So it's great that that's how I got a special. It's perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like it's just mind blowing because like you're one of those people. Like I remember seeing your name on the lineup, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to say that I would hate following you because you would just leave people like you would see them. I would literally watch people gasping for air, and I was like, oh my god, she's killing them. Because like some nights you go out, you're doing spots, and you're just like, oh, this is it, this is the last one. I'm tired, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got to follow. Oh, Jessica's before you, and you're like. Why? Why is she?
Well, I think thank you for saying that, but I think one of the things I was gifted with was just always being honest on stage. Like I like during this time, it's not with this, this crowd I'm about to do, but when I performed outside or I'm doing Zoom shows, I'm like, how horrible is everything? This is hard. And everyone cracks up because I'm just honest. I feel like people really laugh at honesty, and when you're real and genuine, it's more important than even your jokes. It's like,
for sure.
I speak the truth on stage, and I think people really, really appreciate that, and it breaks the tension. There's never like an elephant in the room when I'm on stage. That is true. I always address it.
Yeah. That's great. That's the number like 2 piece of advice that I give to comedians that ask for advice. It's like 1, get on stage as often as you can. Number 2, tell the truth on like with your bits, because like the worst place to be is like on stage and all of your shit is made up and it's like, well, this crowd doesn't like you, so like all the shit that you made up, like adults that pay to go see shows can tell when you're bullshitting and when you're real. And like people don't like paying money to see bullshit. So it's like you might as well tell the truth. And if people don't like you, at least you're not fucking putting on. They know, like, okay.
I agree. I totally agree. And the other thing is that I taught comedy for years, and I used to tell comics all the time, you want people to want to hang out with you after the show. Like the goal is to have them say, I wish I was friends with him. I wish I was friends with her. I wish they could come over and hang out. That's really what helps you get a career and get a following and everything. That people get to know you and feel personal with you. I don't laugh a lot at comics who just like tell jokes and that's it. Like you don't know who they are or what their angst is, because you wouldn't be up there if everything is okay. You know?
Totally.
Like so.
Totally. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you in my park right now?
It's the cool guy, cool girl comic that's just too cool, and you're like, something happened.
Well, I told a couple of people that I taught, I said, you're too happy to be a comedian. You need to go get like horribly sad from something in your life, and then you will be great. But you're too like, hi, everyone. How are you? I'm like, this is not what people want to see and hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell your jokes. We're trying to drink in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to love watching you and have those little inner monologues you would just do on stage. Like, it's not about you. It's not about them. It's about you. I'm gonna go home and eat a cake. Like those little things, they just always made me laugh.
Well, Erik, if you get that, then you're with it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like you can go to that place, because he's talking about when I turn around and have conversations with myself and I have my back to the audience, and it's great because comics always get it. Most comics rack up from that. But there's always people in the audience who are like, does she need to be hospitalized? Like they just can't. They think I'm out of my mind, and it cracks me up. They literally look scared. Like, is she having a mental breakdown on stage?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Now, before we let you go, is there anything you can impart? Because like Mal, he's very new to parenting, and we do have parents that watch the show. Any like parenting advice you could give to help those parents right now during this whole lockdown?
Yeah, it's really hard. I think it's about taking a moment before you react. I really try to do that instead of just reacting. I try to just take a moment sometimes, and it usually ends up being a different response that I have. And that this is all temporary. Like, it seems so overwhelming being home with your kids all the time, but it's temporary, and it's a gift, because I keep thinking this is going to fly by, and then they're gone. Like, they go off and live their life. And like my nephew left for Syracuse the other day. Like, they just go live their lives, and they're in the world. And I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what I would say, is just be patient, enjoy the times, take deep breaths, and don't forget to focus on you also.
That's good.
And then so wait, the 14-year-old, is she doing social distance learning? Are you teaching right now, or how's that working for school?
No, she's gonna go. She didn't go to camp this summer. She was supposed to go to acting camp. She goes every summer, but she is going to go to school. I think it's both. It's going to be both. It's, what, it's like you guys see, it's changing every day. I don't know what's going to end up happening.
Yeah. We started here social distance learning. So I'm technically teaching. I don't know.
It's a lot. It's really hard. Really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to, they're in different situations. Zoe, my oldest, is supposed to be home and go to school. My 4.5-year-old is supposed to go to school. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's literally state to state, moment to moment, like hour to hour.
It's town to town. Literally. Yeah. There's towns near me where the kids are staying home, or they're all going to school. It's crazy. It's a wild time. It is.
Yeah, I've already told my wife I want to apologize to the 3rd grade teacher, because whatever I'm teaching him, she's going to have to undo. I'm just like, I have no idea, because he tells me all the time, and like, I guess it's the cartoon, but like he has a little attitude. He's like, that's not how you do it, Dad. I'm like, dude, this is how I learn math.
I know, it gets so rude. It's like, are you kidding me? This is not easy.
Well, thanks so much, Jessica. I'll let you go because I know you're going to go do your show. Thank you for jumping on.
I stopped in a parking lot, so I'm going to drive to the house now and go do a show.
I think the comedian's outside talking on her phone.
Yeah, I'm at a shopping center. Literally, I'm at a shopping center right now. But
thank you
appreciate
so much for joining us.
Of course,
Yeah.
and thank you for having me, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, everybody go follow Jessica Kirson on Instagram. Her videos are hilarious, and she's also got her special, Talking to Myself, streaming now on Comedy Central. And you have a podcast you do weekly.
Yes.
Relatively Sane. Go check that out. Thank you once again. You're amazing. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Be careful.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Yes, you too. Bye.
That was.
All right, we're never booking her again.
How dare she do it from her car as you pan out
strip mall? That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm telling you, she is one of those people on stage. She's just a straight killer, and I just adore her, and I'm just blown away that was like her first special. But it gives me it's one of those things where I see someone like her too. It gives me hope and strength because she's doing it with 4 kids, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like with comedians,
she's a mom. She's a mom though, dude. Moms have a different strength. Like we're good parents, but like I think moms just like dig a little deeper sometimes.
Yeah, no, but like it's crazy because a lot of our peers are usually single or don't have families or don't have kids, and like, oh, you had a kid, you messed up, and it's hard because then we start getting down on ourselves, like, did I mess up? But then you see somebody like her at her level with kids, and you're like, all right, now
it's possible.
Are doing it.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you saw Keith said your mustache is fire. I disagree.
I did see that. I don't know if John is still watching, but whatever your question is, fire away, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. By the way, everybody in the chat that we didn't respond to you right away. We had her for a limited time, so we're trying to get to her. Let's see. Arnaldo want to know, have we attempted to create pandemic set of jokes, or what would you indirectly joke about? Well, I know you did the outdoor show. You do talk about a little bit about the pandemic. I'm doing my first outdoor show next weekend, and I've got jokes about the pandemic, which I'm going to talk about.
When I did July 4th weekend, my first 20 minutes was all about the pandemic. And it was received. It was received differently night to night.
Because there's some people that don't want to talk about it. They're like, we're living it. I don't want to hear about it. But then there's those people that you can't ignore it because then they're like, what's this guy doing? Like, we're going through something. So
but
it's
also
like
as a comedian, if you're going to be telling the truth, it's like, every night when I go on stage, I talk about what happened that day or what I saw driving up to the club before I get into like my show. So it's like, guess what's happening? The pandemic. Yeah. I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah. All right. I want to tell this story, but we couldn't do it up front because Jessica was on a time crunch. I know we talk about all the times like being model dads and like this is you have that, like you got that joke in your act, like we're not real men,
right?
And you know, I told my father-in-law when it comes to screwdrivers. I had a moment today.
What happened?
So we had pest control come because we think we might have termites. We saw signs of termites.
Okay.
So they came over, and the guy was like, oh, "Okay, cool," and he was like, "No, it's not bad."
How old was the guy?
I want to say he was in his 40s, so he wasn't like an old guy in his 40s, but he was a real man. He had tools. Okay. He had tool belt on, dude. He had the jeans with the loop on him, and he had a hammer in the loop. I don't know why he had a hammer because he wasn't a carpenter. He was just he was a pest guy. But I did see when he used the hammer because he pulled some boards back with the hammer to like look under the crawl space. By the way, I already started getting signs. Hold on, let me reverse. So when I met him, we were equals. Let's start there. We were equals.
2 American men.
2 men equals. And then he starts, as we going through the inspection, he starts asking questions, and then I think he starts getting a sense of we're not equals because he's like, oh. How do you get up in the attic? And I was like, oh, the door's right there. He's like, do you have a ladder to get in there? And I was like, oh, I don't go in there. So that was, I think that was flag number 1 for him. He was like,
they're up there. Who's they?
Yeah.
Damn, I just don't.
So he got his ladder, went up there, looked around. He goes, all right, cool. You don't have no termite damage up there. I was like, cool. Then he's like, how do you get under the house? And I was like, player. If there's a door,
today will be my first time, my friend.
Like, if there's a door, I don't know. So we walked around the house. He found it. That he used the hammer. He had to unscrew some stuff. Went under the crawl space.
Did you go under with them?
Man, come on, Mel. You know the answer to that.
Come on, man. Did you go?
He had a suit on. So I'm gonna start there. He had I don't know what kind of what it's called. Sure. That's not what I was gonna call him. I was gonna call him. You remember the More Money, More Problems video where they had the
wow
that suit.
Wow.
He had that suit, but it didn't shine.
Wow. Oh my God.
He had the Missy Elliott. I can't stand the rain suit, except it wasn't blown up. It was just
okay.
All right.
So he went under in that, and then you just stood outside, or you went inside and had a cold glass of water?
I stood outside. Peeked a little. He came out. I was like, "How's it look under there?" He said, "It's not no termite damage. You good?" Then he goes into the backyard. This is where we had the. So he's poking around. He goes, "Hey man, you got a box?" And I was like, "A box? I'm like, what you need a box for?" And he just like, I was like, "What kind of box? I got boxes inside." And
I shop at Amazon.
I've got Amazon Prime boxes. What do you need?
Yeah.
He was like, "You got a baby possum back there." And I was like, "Huh?"
You say what?
I was like, "Yeah, I can get you the box." He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take them and set them free." Cool, man. Let's do it. So I bring out the box. I said, "Where's it at?" He goes, "Over there." And I walk with him over because I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see what's happening, Mal. He goes, he moves the bush, holding the box. My man just in the box. I went like it just because he didn't prep me of, hey man, I'm gonna grab this thing with my hand. I thought he was gonna go to the truck and get like a tool.
Like, but that's the noise. That's the noise you made.
Oh yeah. And then he gave me a look like he gave me what I call Mal Hall face. He went because I thought he was gonna go to the truck and get like one of those, like as seen on TV, you know, when you press the trigger and the hand extends and grabs whatever you need, or you know what I'm talking about? Like it's got the look.
Yeah,
like
I know what you're talking about.
Good. I didn't know he was just gonna raw dog it with no glove.
You thought you guys would both stand behind the door while he did that with the
or set up like a box and string and got him good. Nothing. Yeah. No, just hand. And I just and he looked at me like, we're not equals. At that point, he knew decisively. He knew we were not equals.
Without question, no question.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever. Dude, listen. This is how much I shouldn't have gone. I had an audition once, right? This is now I'm trying to relate it to this real man. I had an audition once, and it was for like a pet store thing, and they're like, "You cool with animals?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm cool with animals." I got a call back. And before I go to the callback, my agent calls me and she's like, "Hey, listen, so they're gonna have a live animal there, and you just have to hold it, deliver your lines." I forget what the lines were. It was like, "Hey, take your pet to whatever." Da da da. I was like, "Okay, cool. Is it like a dog?" They're like, "No, it's a ferret." And I was like, "All right." Right? I was like, "I think I can do it." You
didn't know what a ferret was.
No, I knew what a ferret was. I was like, I think I could do it. I think they're kind of cute, dude. No, man. I got there and I saw it like live. They just long, tall rats. My man was like, they picked them up and this thing is doing the whole, and she was like, "You ready?" And I was like, Man, no, I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I was like, I think somebody out there deserves this role. I can't. No glove? No,
What?
can't do it. Dude, I saw this thing going. Dude, I couldn't even just because it's squirmy, dude. It's like holding like holding a long rat. Or come on, you think you can grab an animal like that just barehanded?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah.
I'm gonna need that T-shirt back.
Cool, Dad. All right, so here's the scenario. You at the house with your family. You see a rat. You grab it by the tail. Just.
And a live rat? No, you don't pick up a live rat. But if there was a dead rat, I'd pick it up. But I would. Yeah, I'd pick it up.
You on your own, man.
You would try to trap a. I grew up in the country, dude. I'm not afraid of bugs and snakes, and
you're on your own.
You get the heebie-jeebies from a ferret. A ferret is a pet that you have in your house.
Whose house? Not my house. Ain't nobody want this. Nobody wants this mutant hamster. Just what's up, man? I ain't got no vertebrae. I got no ribs.
They're not poisonous. They don't have claws, and you were just like, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, I don't like Arnaldo calling me out, calling me a chicken. No, I couldn't do it. Dude, this is how bad it is. Look, live. Heck no, dead, yeah, no biggie. Joseph, I'm gonna shame all of you right now. I'm gonna shame myself for this. So when we first moved in Burbank, there's rats. There's a rat problem in Burbank, and we set up traps. The pest control place set up traps.
Oh my God. You don't know how to set up a mouse trap?
Dude, come on, man. I know how to set one up, but this is what happened. So he set them up, and that night, got one. Went in, I saw it. I said, okay. And I called him and said, hey, man, you trapped? Caught one. He said, all right, just lift up the bar and with a garbage bag, dump it in. I said, I said, dude, you're going to have to come here and get this thing, or it's going to sit here until you come back. Because,
What the fuck? What is wrong with you?
Dude, what? No, I couldn't do it, man.
In the words of the great Sebastian, aren't you embarrassed?
Dude, I don't know what it is, man. It's the lip.
How do you feel like a man? What are you doing? Come on. You just pick it up.
Dude, this is how bad it is. Somebody could come to my house right now with a dead rat and a ferret and rob me of everything.
Don't even
Give it to me. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. You want TV? Here, you want money?
Take whatever you want. Here's my kids. Take them.
Just a ferret and a dead rat. He can have whatever he wants. You want my kids? Sure. You want my wife? Take her. Like, all right, whatever. Just spin. Keep them away.
Wow. Erik, come on.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Like, you literally pick up your dog's shit, but you can't pick up a dead rat?
No, that's poop. It's not gonna like come to life and
a dead rat is not coming back to life.
I know, man. I can't do it. I'm getting skeeved out just thinking about it right now. I got that, my little hairs are sticking.
Oh my gosh, Erik. I think the way our fans see you has changed just a little bit. This was cute. That was cute. That was cute. This though?
Dead animal though?
You've never pulled over to get a dead animal off of the road?
No. Why? For what? What have you done this?
Yeah.
Like what kind of animal?
Just like a coyote that got hit by a car or something. You just pull it over to the side of the road.
You grab it with no gloves on. You grab the leg and just drag it to the side?
Yeah.
You a gross, man. I'm mad I've shaken your hand before. I didn't know you was just grabbing bodies and
gross. That's what a man does, dude. Men just like get their hands dirty.
You don't know what kind of diseases this thing has? Come on, and you just grabbing it? Oh.
Have you rode the subway in New York City?
Yeah. What about that? I don't. You think I'm touching stuff in the subway? Hands in pockets. I got perfect balance. Just up, jolted. Yeah, I am one of them fancy Latinos. Joseph, don't judge.
Joseph is ashamed of you, man.
Joseph, don't come at me like this. You just grabbing dead coyotes and stuff and not even yours. You just like, oh, hold on. I see a dead animal. Let me pull over.
Do you run away from bugs and stuff too? Like, oh my god, yeah, there's a moth. Ah, there's a moth. Somebody come get it. Help me.
Wow, that's what we doing. What's this?
That's how you scream. Ah!
This is what we doing? Y'all can judge me all you want. No, thank you. I'm not removing corpses.
I'm gonna need that shirt back, player.
Cool dad. I'm a cool dad.
Need that shirt, player.
Joe's saying I do not run from bugs. I actually am a expert bug hunter. You know what I did buy? What a friend of ours gave us, and it's my new favorite thing in the house. It's a tennis racket bug zapper. I mess bugs up in this house.
He's fancy, Joe. He's fancy. You know how we get bugs? We just roll up a newspaper or get a chancla. That's
is that what?
That's how you say sandal in Spanish.
Is that what you're doing with that new mustache? Is the Escobar? You think you could just chancla? That's what I do.
I just know certain words, dude.
Why did that mustache make you Dominican or Cuban right now? Papi.
I don't.
My day. Chanclas. What?
Chanclas, dude. That's funny. All right.
Say, look,
Erik, I still respect you.
Thank you. That's it for this week. Join us next week. That's it, man.
Where our guest will be a ferret and a rat.
I will not be ashamed no more. No, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said before, go follow Jessica Kirson on Instagram. She's hilarious, and her videos will brighten your day. She's just silly and funny and just out there. And then once again, guys, support us by following us on all social media platforms at Mal Hall. He's putting up content today. You just released Country Cooking with Mal. Mal's been taking the opportunity because he's out in the country to do these country cooking videos. You did, because it's like kind of the country, but it's not.
It's country, dude.
It's country. He just did vanilla bourbon ice cream, was it?
Brown sugar bourbon ice cream, and
Brown
then today I posted peach pie, which was like awesome.
Yeah, he did peach pie. He did a plum cobbler last week. So he's throwing out the content. Go check it out. Cook alongside of him. Take pictures, tag him of what you did following his recipes. Follow me at Erik Rivera Comedy. I do these every Thursday. I've got 2 other live streams I do. You can follow me, subscribe, tell a friend. That's how we keep growing. And we'll see you guys next week.
Later, guys. Be safe.